In our popular Clone Commander profile series, we consistently consider whether or not individual clones followed or would have followed Order 66, which makes sense considering the Order's importance to all clones and to galactic history. But sometimes, it's not the commander that counts, but rather the clones in the unit. Today, we'll be looking at 3 clone units that hesitated or possibly could have hesitated during Order 66. Now, before we get into it, the meaning of hesitate in this context should be clarified. Most clones, as Commander Bakara attested, were surprised by the Order and hesitated for a moment, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for what the Battlefront narrator referred to as private treasonous thoughts, which is not only hesitation, but also private doubt about the action. Essentially, we're exploring legions whose surprise and doubt lasted through the execution itself. At number 3, we have the 327th Star Corps. Now, we've covered the brutality they depicted in Revenge of the Sith before, but it's quite possible that it didn't reflect the thoughts of the clones. Commander Bly, at the least, highly respected Aayla Secura, and was sure to kill her swiftly when her back was turned out of this respect. His men might have continued to fire on her corpse, but this may have simply been adrenaline and pent-up anger, especially considering the planet they were fighting on. The clones on Felucia essentially saw Secura as a light in the dark. To once again use the words of the Battlefront narrator, our only hope was Aayla Secura, our Jedi commander. Without her iron will, none of us would have come out of that mess with our sanity, or our lives. In our second spot, we have the 212th Attack Battalion. The 212th had served under Obi-Wan Kenobi for years, and even though this was a rare quality among Jedi commanders, he showed them all care and respect consistently throughout that time. Commander Cody visibly hesitated before giving the order to fire on Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith when the order went through, and the gunner on the ATTE apparently hesitated enough to miss. Even after the order was apparently carried out, the 212th appears to still have been a bit hesitant, considering that the men tasked with confirming Obi-Wan Kenobi's death seemed to be reluctant to investigate further. And while this one may be cheating a little, at number 1 we have the 332nd Battalion. This one we sort of know for a fact hesitated. As discussed in our separate video on that unit, it's believed that the intent behind its creation was to allow a number of clones that we know and love to remain loyal to the Jedi. Even without that, these guys were loyal enough to Ahsoka to repaint their armor in her honor, so there must have been at least some hesitation there. So that's 3 clone battalions that could have hesitated during Order 66. Of course, there are also smaller units that outright disobeyed the order, including Ion Team for example. But as they were much too small to be considered battalions, we didn't list them here. So what do you think? Are there any units that you'd add to this list? And do you agree with our rankings here? Post your thoughts in the comment section below. And just before I go guys, I have some really exciting news for all you history buffs out there. I'm proud to announce we're reviving an old channel called The Front. Now, this channel is essentially for everything World War II at the moment, including very niche stories that not a lot of people know about. Now, we're not only limited to World War II, and we plan on expanding to the Vietnam War, the Korean War, and pretty much everything military history. It would be appreciated if you subscribed, and it would be even more appreciated if you donated to our Patreon, as that channel was heavily demonetized as we use the words Jewish, Auschwitz, and all of that, and it just instantly gets demonetized by YouTube. So any support helps, but the main thing is that you guys enjoy the content we put out, because it is kind of a passion project of mine, as I do love history. Anyways, make sure you join the Discord and check out the channel, and as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.